Content warning. This episode contains descriptions of horror. This includes imagery that some people may find unsettling or even disgusting. These descriptions start after the break and continue till the end of the episode. Alongside that, for all you headphone wearers, there's some really cool stuff audio-wise. However, it may come off as loud or somewhat overwhelming, so be sure to turn your volume down or to take your headphones out if you feel like you don't want to deal with it. If you're okay with that sort of thing, then I suggest listening to this episode with headphones on. Anyways, enjoy the show. When the people we love are navigating difficult moments, there is a scramble to find the right words. We trip over ourselves looking to express our care, our availability, our condolences. And those words can bring genuine comfort. That reassurance somebody's heard you, that somebody's listening, and that they want to help in some way. It can be comforting. But there are times when those difficult moments are far more than difficult, where bleak reality, though differing in depth between each person, is not any less potent to those experiencing it, where empathy turns to shared struggle and a shared loss for words. There are moments when there are no right words, where silence reigns. You find yourselves in a garden shed, nearly packed with over 9 others, ruled by silence. And as you take in the night air, still that smell of smoke wafting slightly, you're not sure what to say, you're not sure who to talk to. In as comfortable a space that can be made, a woman lies still. So, what are you doing?
I think we should take watches for the night. I'm not sleeping, so you should get some rest.
I'll go out.
And we can see out from here, right?
Yeah.
I'll go with you. Actually,
I feel like you should stay with them.
yeah.
I'll go out for a while if you need. I'll stay alone for a second.
All right.
To give you an idea of where everyone is in this area, it's a tightly packed, very small space. Around you, there are elements reminiscent of the astral sea. These roiling purple mists that just kind of, like waves, crash against each other, but not so much that you can't see the surroundings or can't see outside of the windows, but alongside them, the same dancing silver strings. Against the window, Adela has been keeping watch for the past hour, just eyes focused outward, face devoid of emotion and tired eyes. Adelaide has stayed by her mother for the most part the entire time and has not been able to hold her emotions in, but stifles crying over fear that it could attract someone else. Signet is off to the side along with Anna. They don't speak to each other, but they are nearby. Titus and Titan at some point during crying into your lap just fall asleep, too tired to mourn at such a young age. And Archie and Renair are lied down in as comfortable a space as they can, both of them just breathing weakly for different reasons. And finally, the young Tasha has found a corner for herself, and she, eyes wide, knees to her chest, just wrings her hands nervously as you can't fully tell exactly what weighs upon her, but you can make a guess. So, but if you all would like to take watch, you can step out and do so. You can talk to whoever you would like in this time. It's up to you.
Is Rhaenyra awake or is he just down?
After the events of actually escaping from the house, Rhaenyra very quickly just lost consciousness. There was a moment of panic, but he's still breathing. He's just very weakly, just.
Okay.
And there's shivering. His body is pale, and you press like a hand to it, you can feel a slight fever taking as he just.
It's not fun.
Any other questions?
I would probably look over at Aona and just be like, thank you for helping the family. You don't really have a reason to, but you did.
I'm sorry I failed, he says as he hangs his head. I can't accept it.
You didn't fail. So many more people are alive. I don't know what would have happened to them if you weren't there.
He looks at you. Make a persuasion check for me. This is straight one.
24.
He looks at you. And just says, thank you for saving me.
Well, it's only fair. You technically have saved me too. Back on the cart. That's pretty cool, What's running the blood, the cool part.
You most likely would have handled the situation. In my time in Saniath, you all got yourselves into some pretty sticky situations before, and you always got out of them.
Were you watching me the whole time?
Yes.
Oh, you were?
I mean, most of the time, but it was different purposes back then, I suppose. Why is that not?
No, it's fine as long as you're not trying to kill me now. This isn't like some big plot for me to gain trust, and then you stab me in the back and completely ruin my life.
Wouldn't be a bad
kill
idea.
The people closest to me. What?
Huh? Never mind.
Okay.
He sort of stands to his feet and says, I'm going to stretch out just for a second. And he just gets to walk over. And as he's walking away, he looks and he says, I was just joking. Mostly.
Yeah, just a little bit of brotherly love.
Uh-huh. And then makes his way out to the front of the shed as he takes in the air there. You two, what are you doing? Talking to anybody or just heading out?
I'm sitting on the roof.
Okay. Lidara, you make your way out of the shed. Before that conversation happens, you climb up to the roof. It's not hard. To your left, up the hill and through this park-like area, you can see the remnants of the Thorn Manor, now just smoldering embers. Some of it still ablaze slightly, but most of it is looking like it's calming down, consuming itself, that sort of thing. People are still throwing buckets on it, some of them. There's a few thorn grunts left here, but most of it's just staff that are putting the fire out. Looking further towards the city, you can see orange flame that just leaps up in random places, pillars of smoke that rise into the night sky itself. And you can hear that distant sound of fighting, the clanging swords, the gunfire, screams, and you're just not sure the extent of what everything is happening. And on the Weldon skyline, you can see still illuminated from the inside the face of the clock tower, just right at the center of town. And imagining the scene in there is harrowing. But you take watch, keep an eye out. So far, the fighting doesn't seem to be getting closer to you for now. Vincent, who are you talking to?
I'm going to spend a bit of time by Renair and Archie's side.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I can comfortably say that they're both just asleep and not actively dying, I'm gonna get up and walk over to Tasha. And I'm going to sit down close by. How are you holding up?
Tasha just sort of slightly rocking to herself, taking deep breaths. At first doesn't respond to your inquiry. She just kind of looks on. It takes another nudge before she's, oh,
It's all right.
No,
You're safe.
No, I see. What? I'm sorry. What did you?
I just was wondering how you're feeling.
Oh,
I know this is a lot. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't know. There's so much. My family. I saw my cousin.
I know.
She tried to.
But you're safe.
My home. My home. I don't know. You can see she's having trouble fully forming the words, trying to describe, and it makes sense knowing exactly what has transpired here, but she just doesn't fully know how to describe how she's feeling so far.
It's going to take a lot of time to process this. I understand. And I'm sorry that you got caught up in all this. Whatever happened back there, it shouldn't have happened. We could have done a better job to prevent it. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry about your family. If there's one thing that I've learned, it's that sometimes family isn't related by blood.
She looks at you. Make I'll say a charisma check. Just straight up.
20.
She looks at you. She says, hey, it was nothing like what I thought it would be. There's so much blood, so much anger, and it's nothing like it at all. It's not like the stories.
Adventuring is dangerous. This line of work, some people may do this for glory or for money, power. But Tasha, one thing you'll learn is that some people do it because they have to. And it's not all fun. I'm really sorry you had to learn the hard way. But you're gonna be okay.
She slows down her breathing a little bit, and she says, "Thank you. I need a little, just some time, just a second, if that's okay."
Take all the time you need. If you want, later, if you'd like to learn how to defend yourself, I can teach you.
And for the first time in a while, she takes a deep breath and just says, "Okay."
And then I'll get up, walk back over to where I was.
So, as you make your way over, you again inspect the still forms of Renair and Archie, chest rising slowly and falling. Every so often, Archie just lets out a dry, but nothing that gets out of control as he takes another sort of labored breath inward. And as you look at both of them, the wound now closed, but the stained tuxedo shirt of Renair in dark blood intermingled with whatever sizzling poison is coated on that knife. And then looking over at the somewhat charred, burnt, and soot-covered Archie, you can't help but think of those words, of thinking of if this was a unfortunate coincidence, or if maybe it was something else, as there's a slight chill across your chest. So, as the night progresses, I would like a perception check from Lidara.
All right. 23.
22. Okay. You keep an eye out over the town of Weldon, and the fear is that the fighting eventually is going to move closer. And there are times where it feels like it is, where the shouting gets louder, or like the sounds of clanging swords gets louder in the streets, just as the distance closes. But it always moves back. It continues throughout. You can hear it from all sides at some points, but the fighting never reaches the manor estate as the night goes on. And eventually your watch comes to an end, so you're able to take a step down off the roof, make your way back into the shed. Vincent and Azzurum are there, Anyone else taking watch, doing anything else, talking? I say this is the last round of speaking with people here. So, yeah, whoever's taking watch, and whoever's
I can take watch. We can go outside. And I'll just say, can you, Lidara, can you keep an eye on these two? If anything happens weird, just come get me.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The night goes on for each of you. You eventually fall to rest, Lidara. Vincent, you keep an eye out until you feel as though it is time for you to rest as well. It's mostly the same for a lot of it, just that same fighting, becoming at different distances and getting louder, and then worries on if you should react until it eventually dissipates, usually in the sound of a pained grunt that just like a slump or something along those lines. Vincent, there is an enormous responsibility on you approaching as you can feel the weight of the I would say it's either diamond dust or just a full diamond, like a handful of diamonds, but the weight of the diamonds in your bag, in your pouch. How does Vincent feel right now?
He's feeling really guilty. Like he could have done a lot to prevent everything. Kind of feels like trying to bring self back is like the least he can do. But he's trying to hold it together. He's trying to think what's the next thing we have to do. So he's not, broken down yet or anything, but he's kind of in like everybody taken care of mode. Like, you good? You got everything? All right, let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
So when he's outside, he's just staring blankly ahead.
You stare. Your mind races of guilt and of worries of what could happen next or what will happen next. And it takes a while for you to recognize that a few of these thoughts are not your own, as you hear, "So, big day tomorrow, right?"
What do you want?
No? You always assume that I'm coming here to bargain or to try to trick you or something along those lines.
Or to torture me?
Oh, torture is a strong word, Vincent. No. Listen, Vincent, I'm here to help, whether you believe me or not.
Keep saying that.
Oh, and I will keep saying it, yes. So you believe me.
What have you done to help me so far?
Well,
Quickly.
Let's talk about your powers, for one. Do you think that it's easy for you, that it's a normal thing that you can steal how somebody looks, their essence, their memories, after killing them, and just completely replicate who they are? Or maybe you think it's normal for somebody, a bard, to be able to drive psychic blades into somebody's brain with one crossbow bolt and a few errant whispers?
I learned that.
Did you? Or could you just do it one day?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The voice replies. He continues. I mean, think about it. Do you really know where your power comes from? Or are you just pretending to be ignorant?
Oh no, you're being rude to me too. That's good.
Oh, well.
That's good.
It's a two-way street.
I know plenty of bards who know how to do magic.
Oh, yeah. They know how to do magic. Sure. Of course. How many have you met that are at your level, Vincent? That are as powerful as you? That have been to the astral sea and flew through it?
Well, guess I'm just special.
Yes. I agree with that. You are. I mean, you're a hero. Think about it.
It's a strong word.
No, I don't think it is. You saved a whole city. You've saved countless people. Your actions. You may not realize it at the time. You may have been focused on young Mr. Neverember.
Oh, don't bring that into this.
It's hard not to. But what I'm saying is that I do think you're special. That's why I'm helping you. That's why you can use what you can use. It's why that little thing inside the amulet and that sweet little flower field chose you. It took me a while to find out where that little nuisance ended up, but I'm glad I finally found it. How about this? I want to build trust between us, Vincent. I really do. How about I give you a free question? Go for it. I'll answer it. I'll let you in.
That's rich.
Oh, it certainly is. It's got a lot of value.
No, I'm saying it's rich that you think that I think that your answers would have any value. Like they would be any sort of truth.
I'd love to give you some insurance that maybe you can trust me, but how about I give you a little reason to... You see, let's say for an instance, I'm telling the truth, that I'm right, that your powers come from me. So, if you piss me off, and you pull those diamonds out of your bag tomorrow morning to bring that sweet little mother back, and I don't show up, well then, I guess everyone's gonna be a little heartbroken, especially since you told them you can do it. So, let's start the conversation again. Do you want the free question or not?
Fine.
Good. So, where would you like to start?
I've heard names are really powerful. So, do you mind telling me what yours is? Your
Sure.
true name.
True name? Sure. Let's start there then. You can call me Astera. I'll warn you that if you're going to try and use my true name against me or some way, or think that there's some little ritual that will bring, oh, that's my true name, that's the name I was given, it won't end well. And I have faith in that. Just like you should have faith in me. So, now that we have that out of the way, tomorrow, big day.
You can do whatever you want with me. Honestly, I don't care. At this point, you'd kill me right now if you wanted. But if you put anyone else in danger, if you bring that family into this, whatever we've got going on here, I can promise you, you'll be dead.
Big words.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, you and me didn't make a deal. You and, well, Area, you two made a deal. You and me? No. There's no pact between us. Yet.
There won't be.
You sure? Because you can guarantee that everyone around you will stay safe.
With you?
Yeah.
As my patron? No.
Whoa, what a fancy word. I like that. The ring of it. Astera, patron to Vincent Oprah of the strings of fate.
I hate that, actually. Take
It's
it back.
Okay. I'll shelve it for now. Listen, I'm not offering the deal right now, of course. It's very powerful. And I would say almost a little more powerful than the one you've got going on currently. Which, by the way, how's that working out for you? You figuring out how to get the amulet off on your own?
Well, that was a work in progress, so we're going to probably deal with that a different day.
Sure. And when? After you've bludgeoned the next Sword of Fortune to death, or...
Coming for your neck. You know, I realize I don't much like talking to you very much.
Unfortunate. Means we haven't made much progress. But I'll say this. As a parting little gift. Let's go back a little bit to my previous situation. That I do give you your powers and that you do help that sweet family be reunited. Not made orphans. That sort of thing. Right? And I do show up. A spell like that is very powerful. A spell like that involves magic entering deep into somebody's aura, intermingling with who they are. I suppose you'd want me to behave during that process, you know? Not leave any lasting side effects or changes. That sweet lady.
If you do anything to her.
You'll what?
Well, I think you already know.
Fair enough. There's a moment where you wait for another snarky remark or a threat, a thinly veiled threat, for that ice just creeps away and cool air across it leaves just goosebumps in its place. And there's silence. Around this time, here's how I'll say it will work. You all begin to finish your long rests. Where would everybody be at the end of their long rests? Like when they actually lie down to sleep? Because Vincent, eventually you will need to sleep. You don't need to sleep, Azzurum. In Lidara, you only need to rest for 4 hours. So where would you all be in that process? Inside, outside shed?
Azzurum would probably be inside the shed, still next to the twins, but probably would have not gone to sleep and it would have been watching over everyone while they're sleeping.
Okay, so you're directed mostly inward towards everyone to see how everyone's doing. Lidara?
My focus would probably be outside and making sure that nothing bad was happening or anything was coming toward us.
Okay.
Vincent would probably be by Archie and Mary.
Okay. You fall asleep near Archie Rainier. Lidara, you rest at the end of the night or like towards the beginning and then through the rest? I'll say first half or second half. It's kind of weird.
Sporadic.
Sporadic.
Just probably like fall in and out and
sure.
Yeah.
And then Azrum's watching from the inside. Okay. This is going to happen from Lidara's perspective. Make a perception check for me, please.
all right. 14.
It's hard. You sleep on the outside of like roof, right? Or roof or
Yeah, avoid the roof.
on your back, looking up at the cloudy sky. Eventually taking peeks around, it gets tiresome listening out for the danger, especially when it threatens to come so close and then fades away. With a 14, you listen outward. You can hear sounds of fighting off in the distance. You see up in the sky just like a you're not sure how to describe it. It's like a bird.
What?
At first, a large bird. Maybe a bat. Just kind of move strange, just weird, jagged movements before it's just kind of dives down into Weldon. You're not sure where it came from or where it went, but currently where you are, that is what you are seeing with a 14. That situation will change slowly, but as things stand, there's just a moment where you're sort of blinking your eyes and that strange sight unfolds in front of you, and then it's gone. You feel rather strange. It's around this time, Vincent, that you would awake. This isn't even dawn at this point. It's like early morning before the sun even rises. The sky itself is still quite dark. But you feel your spell energy returning to you, Vincent. As you all can mark off a long rest.
Oh, God.
And we can move on to however you would like to approach
God.
this.
Lidara still has 1 point of exhaustion, right?
No, with a long rest, you lose a point of exhaustion.
Shit, 2.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, you're right. So if you had 2, you lose 1 point. You're down at 1 currently.
Great.
Nice.
So right now you have disadvantage on ability checks.
Dope.
As you all come to awaken, many people are still unconscious or have fallen to rest. They're not awake as early as you all are. But Vincent, you feel that spell energy coming back. What's your move?
I'm so sorry. You said, is everybody awake?
Everybody is awake. You can call Lidara down if you would like from the roof.
Yeah.
You should like slight shout up or a message.
Oi.
Hi.
Just peek my head out the window and be like, hey.
Oh, okay, I'm coming.
Good morning, everyone.
Could you actually, both of you, no, passive perceptions, you're 19, you're like 21. 20. Okay.
No, mine is, my
Yours
passive
higher?
perception is 13. My
13.
passive insight is 19.
Oh, okay. Passive perception.
Yeah.
20.
The only other thing you would notice with that, like taking into account 14 perception check, all that, so there's a slight hint of iron in the air. You're not entirely sure from where.
Oh.
Okay, so you make your way in
Thank you.
to the shed. As you enter, there's still very dark in here. Everyone is basically asleep except for you three. And
Good morning. So, I think I can try my thing. But, do we want to do that first?
Yeah, probably. Probably.
Yeah, maybe
Alright, do
get
you
that
wanna
out of the way.
Wake everyone up, or?
I don't. Well, that's up to you, I guess. I mean, we don't have to.
I don't. Maybe Adela, but
Okay.
I don't want the twins
No.
Yeah.
to wake up in case anything goes wrong.
All right. Then,
Vincent, there is a knowledge in your head that magic that brings people back to life, especially people who have been dead for longer than like immediately their soul is like departed the plane, is very experimental and thus fairly new, dangerous. The rituals themselves, you're not even sure. Again, playing into this sort of idea of I don't really know where this came from. This ritual you have. And there is that fear of maybe Astera is involved in it, and that maybe that's how you know. But you know that it does start from your violin.
I'm gonna have to make a little noise if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Then, would you help me get Selk to the middle?
Yeah.
So we'll pull her body out where there's a clear space. Vincent's going to take out one of his 4 diamonds, and he's going to put it on her chest. And he pulls out his violin and sets it aside. He'll put his left hand on her forehead and pull it back and create a tether. It's like light between the top of her head and his hand. And he picks up his violin. He's like, I'm gonna have to do this for an hour, so don't interrupt me. Thank you. And he starts playing.
Vincent, there is a string of luminescent light in your hand. It holds your bow. And as you begin the tune, very softly in this space, so light and gentle that doesn't stir anybody to wake, you watch as that tethered light creeps first into the bowstring and then into the strings of the violin itself, that light as the tune continues. Intense focus is painted across your face, Vincent, and you can feel the intrusive words of Astera ringing in your head of, what if I am involved? What if I don't show up? Or what if I do show up? This is not related fully to the ritual itself, but make a wisdom or intelligence check, I'll say.
They're both bad.
That's all right.
Ooh, nice. Good roll. 20.
As you hear the intrusive thoughts of Astera popping into your head, says, what if I am the source? There's just a light thought in your head that says, he's not. And you remember that Astera didn't teach you how to play the violin. As you push on, and those intrusive thoughts do not bother you any longer, and the chill is replaced with warmth. And as you feel your hands guided by larger, more stable ones, just a memory, you're not sure where it came from, and sometimes it hurts. But right now, it is stern, comforting guidance. As you all watch on with this ritual, the light in the room, you can't take your eyes off of Vincent, who is enraptured in this song that slowly rises in volume and then dissipates and moves for an hour of playing. Sweat pours across the forehead until finally, at the final note, strikes. And you watch the light just dissipate into the forehead, down the body, into the diamond, which puffs outward into twinkling starlight that falls. Selk's eyes shoot awake.
Oh my god. Vincent, you did it.
Where am I?
Azzurum probably would run over and grab her hand.
Azzurum.
How many fingers am I holding up?
What?
You're okay.
Four.
Yes, thank God.
4.
It worked, I think.
The sudden breath, the gasp, the movement, people begin to know what's going. Sigurd's the first as he looks. He says, Mom? He walks over and he just grabs her hand as he looks. He says, Oh my God. Adelaide. And he starts to wake up his sisters who shoot awake. He looks, what's wrong? Oh my God. Silently, the family gathers and just share tears. Tears that some of them weren't able to hold in, and some of them have been holding in all night. And you watch as slowly that grief turns to joy. That silence, that shared struggle turns to a shared celebration of life. As Selk around is holding everybody, the twins themselves are roused as she comes up, and they kind of wipe the sleep from their eyes, and they say, Mommy, I thought, and she said, just a bad dream. And she, and they look as they just hold on to her.
Hi, this is Christian, the Dungeon Master for the Strings of Fate. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 21 of our podcast. I hope you're enjoying it so far. I'm checking in here just to announce a few announcements. The first thing I have the pleasure of announcing is that we have picked the winners of the SoftPod sticker giveaway. The winners will receive their choice of 5 stickers of our new logo. They'll have the choice of the basic white, black, holographic, or whatever pride variations they would like, and they will be shipped out by Dungeon Depths. Thank you so much, Dungeon Depths, for helping us host another amazing giveaway. I'm going to announce them in a little bit, but also you will see the announcement on social media. We will reach out to the winner on the platform that they won on, and they will have 24 hours in order to respond to us. Without further ado, the winners are... Gotes Groupie on Instagram. I think you are also Marik in the Discord. Pardon me if I've completely butchered your pronunciation. Sorry about that. K2 Cosplay on Twitter. K2, love to see it. And LizXCH on Twitter. Congratulations to you all. Thank you so much for supporting the show. And for everyone who didn't win, don't worry. Keep an eye out on the next episode and our social media for more giveaways in the future. None of these giveaways would be possible without the amazing support of our friends over at Dungeon Depths. Dungeon Depths is a store based around quality gaming supplies with character, and they show it through everything they do. They deal in quality handmade dice, dice trays, dice vaults, dice coffins, as well as D&D inspired apparel, as well as stickers too. Speaking of stickers, if you didn't win the giveaway but wanted some very high quality SoftPod logo stickers, well, Dungeon Depths has you covered there as well. we are partnering with Dungeon Depths for our very first run of merch, starting with the SoftPod logo sticker. You can head over to their website now at shopdungeondepths.com and find a soft merch link in the usual navigation. Or you can go to shopdungeondepths.com/softpod. We've got the stickers in a bunch of different variations, from black, white, hollow to different pride variations. So if you're interested, you want to show your support for the show, or you just want to have a really nice logo to put on your laptop, your water bottle, your car, no, probably not your car, but maybe the inside, go check out the Dungeon Depth store now. But that's not all. As usual, we have a promo code with them. Right now, you can use the code SOFTPOD at checkout to get 10% off your order. That's right, SOFPOD. Please note that currently their commissions are on hiatus, meaning that you can submit commissions, but they are taking some time to work through backlog as well as to make new dice for the store. Thank you so much, Dungeon Depths, for helping us with this merch collab. Thank you so much for supporting us for so long. We are immensely grateful for all you're doing, and we're so excited to get these stickers out to everyone. So please go check them out. SoftPod is actually our hashtag on Twitter as well. I go through that hashtag pretty much every day, and I use people's names who've tweeted about the show as NPCs, places, historical figures, etc. in my lore. So if you'd like to see your name on the show, tweeting about the show is a great way to possibly get your name on the show as well. If you're watching on a podcast service, don't forget to give us a rating if that's possible. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as well as comment down below. In fact, I'll help you out with a little comment prompt. What does your character's magic look like if they're a caster? I'll think of something melee class related at some point, but for now that's what I've got. Anyways, that's all from me. Bye!
This shit hurts, bro. Vincent's like wiping the sweat from his forehead.
A tear falls down Lidara's face, but she's just standing in the back, just letting everyone have their moment.
Azzurum probably would have stepped away so that all the kids could celebrate, but he's just in the back also crying. Fool. But like kind of silently, but it's just like he's standing there and there's just tears running down his face. He's just like...
Vincent will go up to him, like tired, and he'll be like, smack him on the shoulder. He's like, all worked out, didn't it?
Yeah.
Are you good?
No, yeah, he's wiping away his tears. He's like, yeah, I'm fine.
You good?
Lidara walks over and she's like, guys,
Are you alright?
what do we do now?
I have no fucking clue. I mean, how did this even happen?
We need to get them far away from this. This cannot be something that they have to worry about anymore.
We need to get out of the city. But, I mean, we could go to the Undercity.
I mean, you can polymorph me again and I can take us far away.
You could take some.
Yeah.
At all.
I can take the family out. At least, maybe. But then we have to leave. There is so much happening here. I don't know if we can help any more than... Well, we already haven't done much, but...
We really haven't.
We've actually gotten into a lot of trouble.
We probably have made things worse.
Yeah, maybe. Just a little bit.
I think that we should maybe go back to the clock tower.
What?
Why?
Are you joking, Azzurum?
Well, first of all, some of the only people in the city that can probably help are us. And as much as we don't want to involve ourselves, not going to be much of a city left for the family and every other Genasi who's in the Undercity. Also, the stone's still somewhere.
Oh, God, the stone. Oh, Yarlaxle.
I'm sure Yarlaxle's fine. I think he got out of it.
Yeah, probably.
I don't give a shit about the stone anymore. Whoever has it can have it. Yarlaxle doesn't have the family. He has no leverage against us. don't give a shit anymore. I'm gonna get out.
Against the side, the sanctum.
What the fuck is that?
Oh,
I look out.
I'll go check.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll also
You
go.
push out of the door alongside as the family all huddles back against the wall. You push out the door and you see that against the side of the sanctum, just sniffing around it, because I can't see into the sanctum itself, just sniffing around it, you see a fleshy, bat-like creature with horrid, jagged claws and a proboscis, this long snout and mouth that just points forward, that just...
Oh, so that's what I saw. What in the
It's
fuck is
huge. It's the size of... It's larger than Azzurum. It just kind of...
that? It's pretty big.
Hey,
Shut! What are you doing?
I'm gonna go out.
Perception checks. Perception checks first. Everybody.
18.
21.
14.
As you... the outside of the sanctum, though it's transparent, there is still a bit of distortion to how it looks, because there are still purple mists and silver strings. But as light begins to take the sky, from dawn rising off in the distance, you can see that the sky is not as you remember it. Light takes the sky above Weldon, and where there was once darkened night, subdued by electric lights, you see now that light illuminates not to blue sky, but to sky of shimmering gold that swirls and intertwines with shades of deep red high above the mansion, undulating slightly as if expanding in heartbeat or breath. Just that creature. You hear distant cries as you see swarms of creatures just
What the fuck?
around the skies. And as you follow their flight patterns above, you look back towards the center of town, and it is not as you remember it.
What the fuck is wrong with the city?
It is strangely familiar, yet completely unfamiliar. The same buildings are still there, that same architecture, but now joining it, you can see these spiraling towers of crystallized crimson rock and ebony stone that are slowly just like appearing in space. Just they begin to materialize, just before disappearing. They arch inward like claws, veins of slimy ichor just running through the cracks. What are you doing?
Where are we?
Hell, I think.
What the fuck?
We must have obviously died and ended up in fucking hell.
What is happening? Oh my god.
Is the creature...
The creature is sniffing around the outside of the sanctum. Just
That thing is horrendous looking.
Something's wrong. This is not under a different sky.
Maybe some extraplanar beings, perhaps?
That's kind of what I was thinking. But why? What? Why here?
Right now. I'm
Would
gonna
I-
assume that this would have something to do with what happened yesterday, but it just...
Or maybe
one
it's
bad
just a
thing after another.
sick coincidence, you know?
Everything bad happens in Weldon. What happens in Weldon stays in Weldon? I don't know.
I sure hope so.
I hope what happens in Weldon stays in Weldon. I don't want to fucking deal with this in every city I pass through. Jesus Christ.
Would I know anything about planes of existence?
Arcana check.
That,
Straight up. Arcana or religion, whichever.
I mean, Vincent's got hyperfixation on
So advantage on
this
that.
kind of stuff.
See if you know about the planes of existence.
12 plus 9.
21.
21.
The planes of existence are divided into 3 categories, and I'm not going to go super in depth into this personally because I know I don't have time for me to go like, here's my Word document on the planes of
I
existence.
would love to know.
But there are the upper planes, the realms that are associated with the gods.
Mhm.
There are the mirror planes that are supposedly mirrors of the material plane, just slightly different to fit different types of creatures. That's Feywild. That's the plane of dreams, etc. And then there are the lower planes, which are associated with the abyss, the infernal, with hell and demons and devils. And out of all 3 of those, how this place looks is resonating very much with the depictions of what the lower planes are thought to look like. What people who have said that they have seen them or said that they've gotten a glimpse of them because of, for instance, like demonic presence or something along those lines. This very much fits the description as a place of jagged rock and of horrifying sights and strange creatures, that sort of thing. So as this creature, at your every word, just kind of around these sides, it's just kind of
Yeah, we don't want to mess with that.
clawing.
I know that usually I have some sort of like pull towards the things that I have contracts against. I know that there's not like a specific thing, but do I feel any sort of pull towards this?
You feel all around you, just as you are standing there. The others haven't noticed, but there is lightning just crackling between your fingertips, just
Of course.
leaping from finger to finger.
Yeah, we really don't want to mess with that thing. It's definitely from lower planes of existence and is definitely going to try to kill us.
I think I'm gonna kill it.
What?
What?
Why? It's right in front of us.
There's
We
a
can't do anything.
We can let it wait till it goes away. You don't have to just kill it.
It's gonna go away and torment someone else.
Yeah, but there's like 800 of them.
Okay, now there's gonna be 799.
Oh my god, Azzurum, sometimes you're really a pain in my ass.
You know what, Lidara? I don't give a shit. Azurum's gonna walk out.
Oh my god. He's going to get himself killed.
Do you choose
Stay in
a
here.
distance? Do you choose a distance away from the creature?
Yeah,
Or do you
probably
just-
a little bit far away.
I'm sorry. I don't have enough diamonds. I'm coming with you.
Okay, well, if you die, we're not gonna have any fucking diamonds.
It's true.
As
Keep me alive.
you both are arguing as you step out of the sanctum, the creature's head just looks at you as it just. Sorry, Mikayla's got it right in her ears.
Headphones.
Just screeches outward at you, and you can see that this long, like tube-like mouth. It looks like a leech attached to like a bat's head. Just
That's horrendous.
its wings are fleshy and just like no fur or hair, just like muscle.
Shut up! I don't want to know
Is it just-
anymore.
I'm good.
Go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Lidara's sitting there like,
Cannoli.
cool, I'll just fucking...
19.
You can't be fucking serious.
19. What do you get?
Natural 1 plus
Natural.
4, 5.
5. And Lidara.
20.
20.
Can I yell
Kurt.
to Aona and be like, hey! Aona, come out here, please!
Guys,
You
it's not
certainly can.
Barbecue. We don't have to have everyone out
let me
here.
let me adjust. If you're gonna
Just in
call
case.
Aona,
Just in case.
let me
What if
adjust.
this thing is big and scary?
Aona didn't roll super high. But Lidara, you go first. The creature doesn't know you are there specifically.
Yeah.
So it is still like creeping around the side.
I look around and I'm like, God, you two are both.
Hey, stop bitching. I told you to stay inside.
Oh.
You talk again and this is going through your head and I shoot an arrow directly at it.
Go ahead and make your shot.
52, 56.
56 points of damage.
Oh my god. She's angry.
From within the sanctum, a arrow just into the creature. It just like cries out in pain. You see the flesh kind of like rearrange as the bolt sinks in deep. This thing's fucking hurt real quick. You can see it's immediately just like kind of falls down on its stomach and just starts to like pick itself back up. Azzurum, that's you.
I'm gonna cast 2 bolts of Eldritch Blast at that bitch.
Boom, boom, go for it.
Boom, boom, boom. Let me use
18 to hit on the first one.
18 hits.
29 to hit in the second one.
29 also hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
18 points of damage.
How do you want to do this?
Oh my god.
Jesus.
I want to go straight through their wings.
Okay. You, as you're arguing with Vincent and then yelling at Lidara, you see the arrow strike into the creature. It falters as it hits the ground, not expecting the arrow. And as you take advantage of that, you quickly turn around from Vincent and whip your whip outward, and 2 eldritch bolts just tear the wings off its body as it hits the ground. Just slumped. Just it's like a final death twitch before it just settles. From above you, you hear just in the distance as you feel as though there's been some noise in this situation. They haven't noticed you yet, but it looks as though you can hear like
Back inside. Come on.
Okay, back inside.
head into the sanctum, and you watch just a large shadow move across the land as a swarm of these things just around this area, just before a chorus, a dissonant chorus of the you can hear from inside just like stifled cries and the family holding like their mouths shut, trying not to make any noise at the horrible sound these things are producing. But eventually they just look around, just sniffing around. They find the body of a dead compatriot of one of theirs, and you see them just pick it up and tear it apart as they fly off.
What the fuck?
Each of them away.
See, that wasn't so hard.
Well, at least we know we can take him.
Yeah, we can take one.
That was so hard. I'm so exhausted
if they're
after
together,
that.
if they're all together, they obviously travel in swarms.
Well, let's just take out its ringleader.
Is that the goal now? Are we now going to take down all these creatures?
Perception check from all of you.
11.
Natural 20.
28.
Natural 20 and a 28. Listening out after that horrible, what's the word I'm looking for? Cacophony of screeches. Those are not the only noises you hear from the city. And it becomes apparent as to why you didn't notice this earlier. Is because they almost nearly blend in with the noises of battle. Except instead of clanging swords, you just hear like like off in the distance, just like screams of people in the streets of Weldon, and you hear creatures that don't sound like the ones you just saw.
Great, there's more.
As you still along that of the materializing pillars that are forming themselves around Weldon.
Okay,
I feel like we should stop those.
Yes.
We should figure out who started this too. How did this happen? Was it Finnegan? Was it the church? Maybe did they have something to do with it?
I don't know, and I don't know what.
The purposes?
Yeah, what possibly could have come of this that would benefit either the church or Finnegan.
But we need to get the family out of here.
Okay.
We cannot just start going after creatures with the whole family in this shed.
Unfortunately, I think those creatures can fly, and if you get out of here as an eagle, I don't know if that...
You know, maybe the safest place is the Undercity.
Probably.
Just for now. The question is, how much of the city do we care about to save it? Because we've only been here for so long. And this seems a bit above what I think I am capable of.
Well, how about you guys take the family to the Undercity, and I'll go see what's going on.
What? No, we're not splitting up like that.
You know.
That's a horrible idea.
Jesus. I'm not gonna go fucking kill myself. I'm just gonna...
So you suddenly you don't want to stay with the family. You don't want to at least get them to
I
safety.
want them to be safe, but also I know that I can take the most heat.
But why do you want to?
I just want to see what's going on.
We can see what's going on in a safer manner together later. If that's what you want to do.
I'll help you kill whatever you want to kill. But can you at least help us get them out of here?
Side note, you also still have Sanctum for another like 10 hours or so, I'll say. Like not even like it's probably like it hasn't been that long. So you probably have like up until like I'll say you probably got out of the ball at like 9 or 10 p.m. So you probably have it's like 6 a.m. now. So you have like 15 hours or something.
Can
So
it stay up if Vincent's not there?
it's not concentration, right?
Yeah, it's not.
So it can stay up while Vincent's not there.
Are you thinking that you want to keep them here?
I mean, it seems pretty safe. The thing couldn't get in. No one knows they're here.
As long as Auna's with them, I guess.
Yeah, we can leave Renair here.
He definitely should stay here.
And Archie.
Oh, we have so many people. And Tasha.
So I think keep them here.
We can go investigate.
Yeah.
Auna, in this conversation, didn't find a good time to rush out, but it would have rushed out pretty soon after Vincent said, Auna, get out here. Auna is just kind of like, probably watched that scene with you all, and then just kind of, instead of speaking up, just sort of listens to what you have to say, nods, gets back in. The family is immediately like, Adelaide's like, what was that? What's happening out there?
Bad things.
Oh, no, you think you can take one of those?
I know I can. If you can, I can.
Oh, kind of hot.
Stop.
Okay, so if we leave you here, can you make sure that...
I'll protect them.
Okay. I want to see a sea of dead crow corpses when I get back.
Tall order, but I can make it happen.
Don't push yourself. Don't do anything dangerous.
You're still injured.
Almost in fighting form, but I will focus on protecting the family above all.
All right.
Do I believe him?
Yeah, go for it.
10.
Yeah, sure.
Do I?
You could try. Yeah, you go for an insight check.
Please roll high.
Sure.
25.
You get a sense that he's already feels as though he's failed this once, that he's not going to let it happen again.
They'll be fine. Let's go.
Before we leave, I'm gonna check on Renair and Archie one more time.
Renair, kind of from that dissonant, of course, is like awaking. Archie with a cough is still like, you can see that he's kind of like patting him on the back, like, it's all right. He looks, Vincent, what is going on out there?
No,
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. We are gonna go check everything out.
Okay. He says he starts getting up.
No. So you have to stay here
What? Why?
because you were poisoned.
I mean, only slightly, I think.
No.
It's like wincing in pain. Just,
I think it's best if you stay here.
okay, but be careful.
trust you.
Yep. And
It's a little frustrated, like,
stay safe, all right, please.
okay. So, you three, are you making your way out?
The gang.
The gang.
You push out of this area here into out of the sanctum, and that irony scent, this heavy metallic scent in the air is just, it makes your skin crawl.
You could say a hint of irony.
A hint of irony, if you will.
So sorry. I'm so
God.
sorry. Psychic damage. I'm sorry.
You can hear the cries off in the distance of horrid beasts that range from like that sound deeper and more gurgly off in the distance, and then down to like
Come on, monster noises.
as you make your way over towards the gate. You can see that this area, the grass itself, is still the same. The park itself seems somewhat similar, but as you move up the hill closer to the Thorn Manor, just looking up, you can see it begins to like die out, just like wither. You make your way over to the gate, push through onto the streets of Weldon. Looking outward, you can see that this familiar cobblestone road, on the sides of it, there are piles of gold coins glittering, just spread out across the sidewalks and the street itself, and their shine is only dulled by thick, dark crimson that is soaking and dripping off each piece. You begin to make your way through, and you can see the decadence of all kind fills the street itself. Piles of glittering gems atop hordes of blood-soaked gold, paintings of nobles, their faces themselves smudged and shifting, just the features getting moved and changed into ever wide smiling faces. Your passive perception, you'd be able to see that the features of these nobles are very beautiful, and they all have these wide grins, and their teeth are very, very sharp. And finally, plates of luxurious food upon silver platters that is rotting into like maggot-filled cores. Just this place is horrid, but it looks like Weldon.
Yeah, this is fitting for the city, huh?
So, sneaking through, looking around.
Yeah.
Stealth checks. What do you get?
11.
11.
28.
28.
19.
19. Very good. So, making your way around, where you want to head first? Where are you trying to head to?
You said you wanted to go to the clock tower, right?
Yeah.
I
I think
guess.
that's where the center of all this is.
I'm assuming.
All right, then.
Let's see the damage done, I guess.
You begin to make your way towards, and you can see a little bit better now being out of the Thorn Manor itself and being able to move towards a main street where you can actually see the clock tower itself. At the center of town, standing where once the towering clock of Weldon just a night ago stood as a violent epicenter, you see now an enormous jagged structure of that same crystalline stone, a bastion of blood and rock that now takes the center of town and spirals upward, just in that same as it materializes in and then fades. You see the clock tower, and then appears and then fades. You see the clock tower, and that materialization, to explain a little bit more, you can see it across all the buildings. That crimson stone and rock, these jagged structures with sharp edges and blood-soaked cracks, they seem to just appear, and then stay, and then disappear, just to Weldon again.
Is anyone on the streets? Are there any bodies? Is there anybody
Yes.
alive?
There's quite a few.
Okay.
Just making your way onto the streets, you can see bodies of Thorns and Walshes just torn apart. By beast or by sword, you're not sure. Some of them filled with bullet holes, some of them completely as though they've been eaten.
No. This is disgusting.
It's a horrid place, and with your passive perception, you'd be able to see that it's not just Thorn and Walsh, it's noble alike, just people that were caught in the crossfire between the two. But you sneak your way through the streets, slinking across from other alleys. You can hear just... go ahead and make perception checks to see if you can see a couple things here.
22.
And I'll roll for what you see.
Also a 22.
22, 22,
16.
16. Okay. You are making your way through, and you see a figure in an alleyway. With your stealth check, you're able to just sort of duck over until you can see it's someone in a Walsh uniform. Just kind of peeks out. So, okay, and then they sort of are sneaking through, moving through the streets, sticking down. You hear this cackle from a rooftop. You hear as you see a humanoid figure atop. And you see this the Walsh figure is suddenly turned around. He looks up. He's in fear. You see a humanoid figure, like almost human features, wearing very noble clothing, of like very decadent clothing, just stained with blood. But their nails are far too sharp and almost knife-like. And they're jutting from their mouth are just enormous fangs as they look down and they say, "Oh, one who got away. When Lord Rasil arrives, he will be quite the gift." As they, no, please don't. Please. What are you doing?
I'll shoot an arrow at it.
Make your attack with advantage, and if it hits, it's a crit.
What was the name?
Rasil, Rasyl.
Holy
18.
shit.
18. Let me check if that hits very quickly, because it might not.
Please fucking hit. I swear to God, I'll be so mad.
18 does hit. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack with the crit.
Come on, dice.
Quite a bit of dice you're rolling there.
Yeah, just quite a lot.
Quite a lot of dice you're rolling
Nothing
there.
like 12D.
Something.
Sixes. I was
Sixes.
like, my brain short.
Almost got you.
Hey, what?
You alright?
No.
33 in total.
+4.
That's already plus the 4. So 29 plus 4.
29
33.
plus 4. In total, that's everything? It's a crit. So it's 12d6.
Yeah.
Oh, that's everything. 33 plus.
Damn.
That's it?
That's
Okay.
all.
All right, thanks,
33.
guys. I know
I'm
I
not,
didn't
that's not what I'm saying.
Everyone's like, oh, that's it? That's all you did?
That's all you did?
God.
Mm,
Not another
rough.
56 like last time? Oh, damn.
As the Walsh person is backed up against the corner, the crossbow bolt sinks into this creature, not doing as much damage as you would have hoped. as you see the flesh, they sort of break it off, and you see the flesh just. Oh, I see.
What the fuck?
Everyone,
No.
it looks like we have a bit of a feast on our hands.
Do we recognize this person? Do we look like any
Make a perception check.
of the nobles that we've met?
Or perception check, I guess, would be it.
20?
I got 27.
You. Let me roll. Do recognize them. They were at the ball. You didn't speak to them, but this is you saw this person's garb at the ball. It's now blood spattered, and their face is now this pale gray-ish as they cry out, and you see 3 more humanoid figures leap up to the rooftops as they look down, and then down, all 4 of them look towards you.
You don't want to do this. You want to leave.
I think we do, don't we? Some of these 3 figures that appear, you see that there's some in Walsh uniform, some in noble clothing, some in Thorin uniform that just like, as they make their way, you can now see their fingers are like knives, just, and their fangs just protrude from their mouths. Just, it's been a while. I can feel the blood starting to wear off. Now, which one of you wants to be... Their head flies backward as you hear a gunshot echo behind you. As you turn to meet the noise, see a black iron revolver as Ronnie O'Donegan stands, says, I see you're getting into trouble without me again. Standing by her side, you can see a familiar, enormous fire genasi just kind of... Oh, good to see you all again.
Fuck yeah!
I can see that we're all a bit confused here, but, why don't we take care of this first?
We jump back a few hours ago, taking the perspective of a young noble, where he started the night with a certain confidence and cockiness of being in attendance of the Weldon Spring Unity Ball. He now ends it in a pool of his own blood. Weak breaths forced from his lungs, now pierced with a silver fork. His eyes are wide with fear, this rage which boiled over him and carried him through the night now wearing off. He looks on at a taller, much more imposing figure, born from the blood itself. He is too weak to even scream. He simply lets out whimpers as the figure kneels down, places a hand under the chin of the noble, and exposes his neck before driving ivory fangs into the soft flesh. We watch as the young noble's face contorts from fear to pain, then finally to joy. In this moment, they don't feel the nothingness of death. They only feel the strength, the gift bestowed upon them by their new lord.